Well, hello, my beautiful people. Most of you guys are going to be watching this on replay because I don't really have a lot of time. But I wanted to come with this and I didn't have time to make a video. So the best thing I can do for you guys is go live and talk about it. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Bullhorn Betty. I'm covering true crime now publicly for well over 5 years. And we've been advocating for an awful lot in Tennessee, okay? And I feel like our pressure has worked in part, okay? So I think Tennessee is starting to hear our message. I really do. And here's why. They have just recently, sorry about that, they have just recently started coming out with some bills. The governor just signed a whole host of bills, so I wanted to go over those with you. Here we go. Let me just move myself up out the way. Here are some of the laws going into effect on July 1st here in Tennessee. Tennessee enacted 177 new laws. Obviously, 177 new laws are not pertaining to anything that affects us or anything that we advocate other than children and victims of crime. But, boom, boom, taking it from a Class A misdemeanor to a Class E felony, any type of abuse involving injury. I mean, right? These are some of the things that we have been wanting and praying for in the state of Tennessee. We wanted the state of Tennessee to hear our call, understand we're coming from a place of concern and love, right? And love. And it can come off as criticism. And I'm very critical when it comes to our children. I don't play when it comes to the kids, okay? I can handle the adults and stuff like that. The things that burn my butt are the kids, okay? Don't screw with the kids. So, kudos to Tennessee. We don't ever have anything good to say about Tennessee hardly this day and age. So us having this opportunity, this very rare opportunity to give Tennessee some credit and to give them a pat on the back, okay? Let's face it. These things have been a long time coming. I love seeing this. We should all be appreciative. This is not criticism. This is not coming from a place of condescension. This is coming from a place of love and just pure proud. I'm proud that Tennessee, that's been my thing. Start making laws that help better protect people. Start making the laws that law enforcement can bite onto. The laws that they have. I mean, to think about this. Child abuse with injuries was a misdemeanor in 2025. Come on, guys. You guys know that this has been a long time coming. So kudos to Tennessee again. HB 45. Let's go over some more. What's this one? Unlawful P, right? So they're now getting tougher on penalties for secret, non-consensual photography, especially intimate, exploitive, and things of that nature. And I just want to make sure people are well aware of the law. They're not talking about in public. They're talking about videotaping when you have a perceived duty of privacy. So still, if you're walking down the road and you have a reporter and they catch you in the clip and it's unwanted, it doesn't matter. You're in a public space. So this is, as you guys can see, but still kudos. We want to make sure that these types of crimes are being increased to start holding some people accountable and even expanding penalties from a Class E to a Class D felony for anybody, 13 years or younger. So again, Tennessee's starting to get it, Again, this is pure pride right now. I'm just elated that we have a situation where I can report to you that Tennessee is getting tougher child laws. And that's not just from the work here. That's from everybody. That's from everybody. And not only that, the reason why I picked up this one is because we know that a lot of our cases, not a lot of our cases, but some of our cases have a tone of postpartum depression, okay? We're dealing with Lily and Jack where we're kind of, playing the tape through, but we've been having conversations of this postpartum depression. And this is great because now under this law, all hospitals and birthing centers will be required to provide new mothers and their family with post-birthing warning signs, including symptoms, resources, before they're discharged from the hospital. And again, this is important because, new parents, there's no guide. There's no guide. I love this. I absolutely love this one. So Savannah Grace Copeland Act was signed into law, and this provides $4 million annually to child advocacy centers that offer services to child victims of abuse and neglect across the state. Guys, we should have a lot more clappy hands in our chat than we do. We should be blowing this up. We don't really report too many great things out of Tennessee. I mean, we report we love vacationing there. We love the view. But when it comes to our job here, true crime, and advocating for children and trying to get these things, I just feel, I feel like the work that all of us content creators have done to put a spotlight on Tennessee is, we don't ever like to criticize anybody. I'd rather not have to criticize. I love law enforcement, sometimes you wouldn't know it because we cover true crime. We got to talk about all law enforcement's mistakes, and it kind of sucks, but they're human beings. So that's why I'm always, when I tell my show and I start talking about the law enforcement, and I have to talk about, you got to remember, I got friends in law enforcement, and we start talking about the shortcomings of law enforcement. I always try to tell people, law enforcement are human. They're human. But what child. I really think children won this season in Tennessee. I really do. I think the children are winning here. Love this. Teen Social Media and Internet Safety Act beginning 2025 of the school year requires the school district and public charters to prohibit students from accessing social media through the use of internet access provided at school, because let's face it, they're not there to socialize, they're there to learn, and we need them learning. Love that. And this I put in here because it was part of another one, so I wanted you guys to see this. So Teen Social Media Internet Safety Act, they're not going to be able to chit-chat with their friends. They need to be doing their schoolwork and stuff like that. So education must develop a social media and internet safety curriculum for students in grades 6 through 12. It must include information about healthy behaviors, time management on social media, negative effects of social media. Home run for our little, for our older stuff. Expanding statutes of limitations on child SA. Love this. Increasing penalties here. So again, we are very, very appreciative. This is coming out of Tennessee. We don't have always a lot of stuff to really report on when it comes to Tennessee, but this is really good. They're taking it seriously. This shows us that the state of Tennessee is meeting the people in the middle here. Okay, they're ponying up some pretty good laws here. They're expanding the ability for people that are in these situations to go after the perpetrator up to 25 years, sue them civilly up to 15 years after they turn the age of 18, and if it's related to a somebody that's an S offender, they even have up to 30 years after turning 18. So really expanding these laws to hold bad people accountable. And sometimes it takes years because these people, they target the younger people, and, it takes them a long time to get there. And sometimes these things, your brain will delete this abuse, and it may be something where you see a situation, and then all of a sudden the memory just floods in, like the floodgates were just opened. So great, love this, teaching our young ones, right? You have driving privileges, but you're convicted of harassment or cyberbullying. Those driving privileges, in the state of Tennessee, you lose it. You lose it. If your mommy and daddy can't teach you any better manners, the courts will take care of it for you. It's that simple. And I can guarantee you, mommy and daddy having to drive you to school again is probably going to get up their crawl very, very quickly. I will tell you that. This is very good. We know that this has been a problem for a while. They're increasing, obviously penalties, a Class E felony in Tennessee. So they're working on some of this stuff. It's good. This is good law. Okay, this is good law. I like this. I picked out the stuff that just pertained. There's a lot of stuff in there that didn't pertain to the show. Increasing required daily physical activity for our elementary school students. Now, this is sad that we have to, sign bills just to get our children exercise, as if our departments of education don't know our children need exercise, that we have to mandate physical activity just for them to get physical activity. I don't remember having all this stuff mandated when I was going to school. But hey, love this. We are the channel of prayer, right? We're not the channel of perfection. We're the channel of progress, but we love Jesus, right? And to know that they're starting to give electives, because it's your right? Even in school, you have the right to pray, whether the teachers like it or not. You have the right. You have the right to not show any nomination, not pray, not participate in it. But you still, I think people have really taken this, church and school thing really out of context, because at the end of the day, you should still be able to have a right to choose whether you want to pray in school or not. It's still a choice, right? So this is good. Bible courses at public charter schools. Love it. Voyeurism Victims Act, we know what that is. People going and being idiots. So they're increasing that, but I thought that was good. Unlawful exposure, right? We love stuff. These are the things we want tougher penalties on, right? They don't not necessarily affecting our children, but they could. And if we catch them there, at that stage, then maybe it won't get to a stage where we're having to prosecute somebody because of, acting on those things. Aggravated SB. This is just regular law, not really to do with just the children. It does, more legislation. So here it is. Legislation changes sentencing range for people convicted of this. Victims under the age of 18 who are mental or physical disabilities. This law, again, great law here. Great law. Okay? So range 2 is 12 to 20 years. Range 3 is 20 to 30 years. So good stuff, I think. I didn't really care about that ride share, but I didn't know people impersonate ride shares, but that's good law, no matter how you look at it. The reason why I got this is, come on, I got gray hair and wrinkles. You're going to know that I am, and not only that, but it also comes back to our latex masks, right? Our children are going to be going into stores, and I don't think, I don't know how they're going this day and age. You can create everything, right? Oh my goodness, the creativity of people and the technology, I'd be worried being a parent this day and age. That's all I gotta say. That's all I got. But to increase it to 50? Come on. That's ridiculous. When you're 18 years old, 30 looks 50 to them. Okay. So prohibits technology that creates CSAM, forced entry, resistant windows and doors at the school, and child care in unused school buildings. You know, again, just a lot of, what can I say? You know, there's not really any complaint Bullhorn Betty has at this moment. I think that this is a major step in the right direction for Tennessee. I'm actually I'm smitten that I can actually report something positive on Tennessee. I mean, I've been waiting a really long time. I mean, 5 years. Holy smokes. Thank goodness I didn't hold my breath, even though, you know, people wanted me to. But I didn't get what they wanted. So I've got a meeting, guys. I've got to go. If I can, I'll try to do like you guys really kind of got the shaft today with me, but I popped in when I could. I knew today was going to be a fairly busy day. I will tell you all. I'll give you a little insight. Then actually, I might need your help because I'm pissed with my county. I am beyond pissed with them. You guys know I'm already upset about some things that have happened. I've played those tapes on our advocacy here with some of the choices that the county has made. And I also addressed, because they were trying to put a $3 million contract on our consent once before, and they said, and they had it pulled, okay? And I know you guys don't understand the difference between consent and stuff like that, and I'm not going to bore you with the details, but it basically means that one vote will pass about 50 items all at once. Okay, so people can hide a lot of line items in that, okay? And so we're very diligent about going through that and making sure there's nothing secretive, because that's how dirty. Remember, I tell you, corruption is in every single county, right? This is the type of corruption I deal with in my county. It's the sneaky, underhanded crap that they try to pass by the taxpayers without being detected. Well, this one was huge, okay? This one was super, super, super huge. They were trying to add almost an additional tax to the county, literally in a failed swoop. They were trying to put it on consent. Somebody pulled it from consent and put it on the regular agenda so it could be discussed. And they were trying to pull our sheriff off and have them their own revenue stream. That's an additional tax for this county. First and foremost, we don't even know if 1 mil would be enough to support our sheriff. Never mind having to split them apart, having have two different accountants, two different, people doing two different. It makes no sense. It's just money, money, money. I don't know what a-hole came up with this, right? And so they're sitting here trying to argue with me that this is not a tax. Okay? Bull to the you know what, it's not a tax. You know what they did in 1968? The school board used to be part of the county as well, okay? We only had one taxpayer payment across this country. And then you have some doofus saying, you know what, we'll do dollar for dollar. Let's just get them their own line item. 40 years later, don't tell me the school board ain't a damn tax. So I don't want to start splitting my sheriff off. Why? Because in 40 years, we're going to have to pay out the nose, not only for the school board, then for our county, and now for the flippin' sheriff. We fund our sheriff well in this county. So anyways, since I have an underhanded board, a slimy, sleazy Manatee County Board of County Commissioners that just got up the crawl of Bullhorn Betty, and we will be the boil on the ass of a politician. Unfortunately, the boil needs to be put on my commissioner's ass, because hell to the nah. So I actually might need some volunteers. This might be a project that my fellow true crimers that, you don't have a lot to do during the day. Things start slowing down. You need to keep yourself busy. This will be perfect for my bedridden viewers, the people that, really want something to do and they can do computer work. I want to find all the promises that they freaking made to this county, and every damn meeting I'm going to put another promise up there that they failed to freaking keep, and I'm going to sit there and put a 1 minute and 30-second video of a promise not kept, and then I'm going to save my other minute and 30 seconds to explain how they didn't keep this promise, how they didn't keep this promise. You want to sit here and try to tax Manatee County residents out of this county? Hi, my name's Bullhorn Betty. So I might need my true crimers to help me with a problem I have in my county, but you're not going to stick it to the freaking residents here, and I'll be damned. Over my dead body. Who knows? I might be rolling in the grave, because, you know, conspiracy theories and all. Just saying. We'll leave it with that. I will be back. I got to go to a meeting. God bless you. See you soon.